Welcome, everyone. Most founders treat a venture deal as a handshake and a check. In reality, it is a complex architectural system. Today, we're going to decode the venture deal playbook. Our goal isn't just to get funded. It's to be smarter than the lawyers and the VCs sitting across the table. We will look at term sheets, capitalization, and the high-stakes negotiation tactics that define your company's future. First, let's look at the players. The entrepreneur protects the vision, but often lacks experience in core mechanics. The venture capitalist provides capital, but is under immense pressure from their own investors, the limited partners. They may use standard legal jargon to distract you. Finally, the startup lawyer, a great one, focuses on what matters, while a bad one derails deals over technicalities. Never assume a lawyer's anger reflects the VC's actual intent. It's often just theater. To negotiate effectively, you must understand the VC's hidden machinery. They aren't just playing with their own money. They have LP pressure driving a need for outsized exits. They have time impacts based on the fund's life cycle. And they have the key man trigger. If a specific partner leaves, the fund could literally shut down. Don't be blind to these issues. Understanding what affects your partner emotionally or financially today prevents trauma later. Every term sheet boils down to just two levers: economics and control. Economics defines the financial return. Think price, valuation, and liquidation preferences. Control defines who makes the decisions: the board, protective provisions, and drag-along rights. The mantra here is simple. Everything else is a distraction. If a VC is fighting you on S3 registration rights, they are likely trying to exhaust you so you concede on the things that actually matter. Think of protective provisions as the veto dashboard. These don't stop you from acting, but they require VC consent. Whether it's changing stock terms, selling the company, or borrowing more than $100,000, the VC has a button they can press. My tactical advice: resist materiality qualifiers. Specificity is always better than debating the legal definition of reasonable in a courtroom 3 years from now. Control goes beyond equity percentages. A VC might own only 20% of the company, but still have operational command. This happens through a combination of board seats, protective provisions, and drag-along agreements. A drag-along forces minority shareholders to vote with the majority during a sale. Separating the duties of a board member from a shareholder is essential corporate hygiene. Now for the math. Liquidation preference determines who gets paid first. Imagine a waterfall capital flows into the top tier, the VCs, until their preference is met. In this example, if you raise $25 million in total preference, but sell for $15 million, the common stock tier, the founders, remains bone dry. The preference consumes the entire exit. You must understand this waterfall before you sign. Not all preferences are created equal. Full participation is the most expensive for founders. The VC gets their money back and shares in the rest. Capped participation limits that extra upside. No participation is the cleanest structure. The VC chooses their preference or their share of common stock, whichever is higher. Aim for no participation to keep your cap table healthy. The cap table is a dilution cascade. It starts with founders at 100%, but then the employee option pool is carved out, usually pre-money, followed by Series A and B investors. Precision matters here. Rounding errors in these intermediate steps compound into massive legal headaches. Do not blindly rely on your lawyer for the math as a founder. You must own and understand the model down to the fractional share. Negotiation is game theory. If both sides are collaborative, you achieve a fair deal and preserve the relationship for a 10-year journey. If one side is combative, someone gets steamrolled. If both are combative, the deal dies or results in toxic board dynamics. A good deal isn't when both parties are unhappy. It's when both sides feel lucky to be in business together. The ultimate tactical advantage is leverage. In a state of scarcity, the VC dictates terms. In a state of plenty, meaning you have a solid plan B or another VC waiting in the wings, the founder dictates terms. Once that term sheet is signed, control your lawyers to avoid manufactured hostility during the 100-page definitive document phase. The deal is yours to lose at that point. If you've signed a bad deal with a bully VC, remember that venture is a multi-round game. You are in the toxic zone until the next round. A new lead investor in the next round can be a powerful ally. They are motivated to ensure the management team is incentivized and they can force a renegotiation or a cap table cleanup as a condition of their investment. The letter of intent is the final term sheet. You'll choose between an asset deal, where the buyer takes the good stuff and leaves you with a shell of liabilities, or a stock deal, which is much cleaner for founders. Just like the initial term sheet, you must focus intensely on the form of consideration and escrows. This is the end game. Be careful of paper payouts. If a private company with a $300 million valuation offers you $15 million in common stock, but they have $110 million in participating preferred liquidation preferences, your $15 million is at the bottom of their waterfall. If they don't have a massive exit, your payout mathematically evaporates to zero. Always look at the acquirer's capitalization before celebrating. To wrap up, remember the deal geometry. The term sheet is the rules, the cap table is the math, and the exit LOI is the outcome. You cannot view a VC deal as just a check. A single concession and a protective provision today can dramatically alter your payout years later. Be smarter than your lawyer. Be smarter than your VC. Know the geometry.